Hello everyone, this is Crowbeak. Welcome back to my Final Fantasy X Let's Play, which I talk about it sometimes critically, sometimes reminiscently, and always happily. I love this game. How is that for good timing?
Father Zook.
Long time no see.
Do we know this guy?
You are Yuna? You certainly don't look like Maester Kinok's murderer.
What you say?
Oh my god. I forgot that.
Please, tell us what has happened.
Maester Micah just issued a personal order, you know. It said that you and your guardians murdered Maester Kinok and fled. We are to kill you on sight, or so it says.
I completely forgot this
One
happened.
of Pavel.
Oh my gosh.
Things are calm on the surface, but the depths are turbulent. After the death of Maester Kinok, Kelk Ronso left Yevon.
Convenient.
Indeed.
Getting around will be easier with Yevon in disarray.
But be careful, my friends. You have been branded enemies of Yevon. You should avoid temples for the time being.
Thank you, Father Zook, for your warning. Father, you came all the way here just to tell us this?
To tell the truth, I was a little curious to see this summoner you are guarding. I hope her pilgrimage goes well. For your sake, too.
Thank you, Father.
So here we have a
I must
dude
be off. I shall pray for all of you.
who's an old acquaintance of Lulu's. Must be from when she was a child, because otherwise wouldn't Yuna know them? Yuna went to to Besaid after her father created the current calm, or started the current calm by defeating Sin, which means about 10 years ago. So whoever this Father Zook is must be an acquaintance of Lulu's from more than 10 years ago, for him and Yuna not to know each other as well. So that's interesting.
Messy.
What is?
Yevon, Micah and Seymour are not of one mind. Remember what Seymour said last we met. I do not think Micah will concur.
True fact.
If Yevon founders, so will Spira.
It's interesting. He does not always agree with Yevon, but he still feels like Yevon has an important part to play. Also, hello, Twitch viewer. I see you. Or I saw you. I don't actually see you. That would be creepy. What does Riku have to say?
She's not stopping, is she?
Nope.
Yuna, she's made her decision.
But I can't just let her go.
Yes, you can.
We won't have to. We'll save Yuna even if she calls the final Aeon.
But how?
Good question.
I'll think of a way.
What
Help
if
me
you
with that.
can't?
Stop. Stop it.
I'm tired of talking to you.
Yes. Good.
It's always but this, but that.
It's one of the best lines in the game.
But,
She did it again.
Let's think together.
okay.
And if we can't think of something, we find another way.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense, but yeah. Optimistic outsiders unite. Twitch viewer, I see that you're leaving a comment, but I'm currently in the middle of trying to record an episode for YouTube, so I will look at it later.
So, we are officially traitors then.
You knew that when they threw
Hey,
you into the
let them say what they
Beatrifico.
want.
It's okay. I'm not worried. Well, maybe just a little. It's so hard not to be.
Hey, it's okay to worry. And if it gets too rough, just yell.
Yeah. Okay. I might just do that.
Yeah.
He's already demonstrated a yell of frustration for her earlier in the game, by the way.
I wonder if my father got lost here too.
Maybe. With my old man helping him.
Maybe I'll ask Sir Orin.
Aaron?
You should.
Well, that grouch never tells me anything.
That is none of your business.
That's actually a pretty good impression.
Not that he keeps out of other people's business. You know what I mean?
He can hear you.
Just a little farther. To Xanarkand.
I wonder why that's blue. There's no reason for that word to be blue.
This is a toughie.
That's that's such a fun
If
animation.
Yevon founders.
Oh, yep, we've already heard that. I like Orange.
Who was that?
I like all these characters.
Until half a year ago, he was a summoner. Waka and I were his guardians.
Oh,
Kind of a short pilgrimage.
He gave up halfway. Here, on this plain. Now he is a
halfway?
monk at the Bavel temple.
Father Zook said that Father Zook said that we were ordered to kill Yuna on sight. And one of the thoughts I had that I forgot to say because it dropped out of my head pretty quickly was, how do they expect to be able to kill a summoner who's already got like 5 Aeons? Well, if this dude is a summoner too, that gives him a fighting chance. Because remember, at the Via Purifico, it was a summoner that they threw at her at the end of the Via
This is my third pilgrimage as a
Purifico.
guardian.
Third?
Father Zook was my second, and my first, well, it ended here too. I've never been to the lands beyond.
That sounds like the first person you guarded didn't go well. So apparently Guardian is just a potential career path. That's interesting. And it's also okay, so wait a minute. I thought Yuna, Lulu, and Waka grew up together on Besaid? Maybe they didn't. I can't really remember what evidence I had to that effect. Yeah.
When I was guarding Zook, I already told you this, yeah? About when I was too into the game to be a good guardian. So, when Father Zook said he wanted out, tell you the truth, I was kinda glad.
You know what? I don't understand anything anymore. Let's go talk to Kimari.
Gagazet is Ronso land, Kimari home.
Hey, we might meet your family.
Kimari has no family,
Ouch.
Oh, sorry.
but Kimari not alone.
Because he has us.
Sacred mountain Gagazet, not changed for 1,000 years.
Now that's an interesting thing for him to say, because 1,000 years ago was when Sin first attacked Xanarkand, right? Gagazet is near Xanarkand. It's on the other side of the Calmlands, in the direction of Xanarkand. So... yeah, that's just interesting. If it's unchanged for 1,000 years, if he's right, if it hasn't changed for 1,000 years, what does that say about my previous theory about the Calmlands being too close to Xanarkand? Apparently nothing. Alright, that was a bad theory. I'll talk to Walk again. see if he says
Xanarkand's right
anything.
around the corner. So close already.
Yeah, it's not far from Gagazet to Xanarkand. It really just isn't. Alright, let us save. Because saving is a thing that needs to happen. I find myself wondering if, like with my failed theory that failed pretty fast here, and these two having guarded Father Zook, I don't know. Maybe Lulu and Waka did grow up with Yuna on Besaid, but they decided to become guardians and started helping other summoners, and their first Lulu said that first one didn't go so well. And maybe Waka only joined the Guardian thing after that first one failed. And so they both helped Father Zook, and then Zook decided, as I was talking about before, he got to this point and said, you know what? I'm not going to do this after all. I think that thing about summoners getting lost in the Calmlands is more a matter of lost in terms of willpower. Lost, like losing their way, kind of. Well, I mean, that works physically as well as mentally, but mentally losing their way as opposed to physically. This kind of gets back to what I was talking about before, when I left off with my previous episode, about the fact that rarely, like, I cannot think of another example, rarely do games have, I don't need to do that again, have a true pilgrimage. There are games in which other characters, who are not the main character or characters, have some... Ooh. Yes, please. Yes. Characters who are not the main characters might have a pilgrimage. Might be going on some pilgrimage that you hear about, but you don't really hear about... yeah. Yeah, I do want that. I'm distracted by the shiny loots. Yeah, I'll modify that later. Nope. Arm guard. Waka. No. Nope. Nope. Oh, that's for Orin. He doesn't need more hit points. Yes. Yeah, we'll definitely give her that one. I managed to completely lose my way through what I was saying. So I'm just gonna leave. Okay. Oh, I just realized that whole scene was optional. If I hadn't gone straight for that, I would have missed it. That's interesting. This, by the way, is the first part in the game where things really start to open up. I guess not, because we don't have access to the airship yet.
We'll get through this.
Robots on fire? How cool is that? I'm not distracted. Robots on fire. That actually is really cool. Orin, beat the crap out of this robot that's on fire. I cannot for the life of me remember what I was gonna say. That curl looks way cooler. It just every enemy in this battle right now looks way cooler in this version than it did in the original version. Yeah. Waka, hit it. Yeah, I feel like I should be talking more. Oh, let's see. Black Magic. Let's try Blizzard. See what happens. I don't have Sensor on anyone. Apparently that was not supposed to be used. He's dead now. It's good.
No time to waste.
Pilgrimages. I keep wanting to come back to this pilgrimage thing, but I don't know how much more I can say, except that their main characters really don't do pilgrimages in video games. Not in a real pilgrimage kind of sense. This game, because of the nature of the... I'm not going to go through that green dot over there. Totally switch sentences in the middle. But that leads to optional stuff about getting the best weapons in the game. So, yeah, I don't care. Not for this playthrough. I have the perfect party for this thing right now. This is excellent. And of course I lost my train of thought again. Pilgrimages! When you think of a pilgrimage in the traditional sense, a pilgrimage is always a religious journey, a spiritual journey, or like a journey that involves a spiritual element where you are trying to no, I'm not lost. I can definitely, and I don't want to go back to it all. A pilgrimage ideally is a spiritual journey in which the person or persons undergoing the pilgrimage are... I mean, there's any number of reasons they could be doing it. It could just be a self-improvement thing. It could be a way to appease gods. But it always is more about finding spiritual strength through the process of journeying to a place. And there are basically no games besides this one which have that as a thing the player does. And I think that's part of the reason, the fact that there is a pilgrimage going on, the fact that the player is along, the player is not necessarily, like, the player's avatar is Titus in the game. And he is not really on this pilgrimage. The pilgrimage, as I said before, is Yuna's. But by going on the pilgrimage with her and seeing the relationship develop between Titus and Yuna, the way the storytelling is done, the way you find out exactly what Yuna, like, stop doing that. Finding out
That's how it's done.
things as you go helps really underscore, everything about the storytelling helps underscore just how much of a true pilgrimage this pilgrimage is. And it's just, you never get that in other games. I mentioned before in the previous episode that Tales of Zestiria is the only other game, and it's fresh in my mind, which is probably part of the reason I'm drawing this parallel. But Tales of Zestiria is the only other game I can think of in which the main, like in that one, the main character actually does go on a pilgrimage. Basically, they don't call it that, but he, in order to save the world, he takes an oath that gets him special powers, and then he has to go from shrine to shrine trying to get more special powers so that he can take on the final bad guy. And I'm at the point where he's going from shrine to shrine, and there are other elements than that as well. The way Zestiria is set up, there's a force, there's stuff called malevolence that gathers in the air, and the way malevolence gathers has less to do with real evil and more to do with just people being conflicted, where, you know, like if there's a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of anger, hate, that sort of thing. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, suffering leads to malevolence, is kind of how that chain of things goes. People doing bad things to other people ends up generating malevolence, and man, I did not start this battle off on the right foot, did I? Didn't have much choice, but it still sucks. Oh, let me get Kimari out of there, please. Let's see. Titus can probably hit this other dude. Just BE yourself. Oh god, he's poisoned. That sucks. So one of the things that the main character of Tales of Zestiria has to deal with is trying to avoid generating malevolence himself. Basically, now that he's taken on the position of this now that he's taken the oath and started on his journey to try to save the world from this dude who generates malevolence like nobody's business, he, in order to succeed, he has to sort of be a vessel of purity all the time. And that means that he can't be doing things that cause him to generate malevolence. So that's sort of a spiritual thing that he struggles with throughout the game, and it's pretty neat. Like, I feel like it's pretty well done, and I'll be talking more about Tales of Zestiria in a video specifically made for YouTube later, I think. But that doesn't have the feel of a pilgrimage the way this does. In that one, there's magical forces that are kind of forcing him to go this way and that way and do things. It's sort of a foreordained thing having to do with, like, I don't know, it feels like a thing that he has to do just because he has to do it, whereas with Yuna, the pilgrimage is 100% a character building thing. And she's not the only one doing it. She's one of many people who are attempting this. And you just don't... There's no other game that pulls this off. It's partly... like, all the world building that goes into this, and I mean, like, the whole world is set up for this. Everything about the society, and the geography, and the very nature of the threat to the world itself, plus the storytelling, like I said, it's told from Titus's viewpoint as he goes along with her, and learns along with the player everything that's happening, like all the things behind, like all the reasons behind her actions, the history behind everything, and why this pilgrimage is so important. That's what really gives the pilgrimage its, and the relationship moments between him and Yuna, their gravity. yeah, this pilgrimage is a big part of what makes Final Fantasy X special, I think. With that, I didn't start the timer right when I started this episode again, so I'm going to end this one here. Have a good one.